Good morning. I've got my latte. Wherever you are in the world right now, I hope that you're doing well. I myself am kind of starting today off very stressed out. It doesn't help that I have a very packed day, so I tend to get nervous and anticipate that, and then my body wakes me up in the middle of the night. My first thing on today's agenda is to talk about my February notes with you. If you haven't seen a notes video, essentially what it is, it's my month in review. It serves as a digital journal. What I'm going to talk about today, kind of ticking off the points, it's going to start off with what is in and what is out, community building, those experiences, and then getting a little creative. So some really fun moments and ways that I have been involving creativity and planning artistic time like back into my schedule. So the first thing, ordinarily I would put this segment at the very end of February notes, but I actually thought it would serve better to show you at the beginning because everything else I'm going to share afterwards I think kind of applies under the umbrella. What is in? Saying no, learning to make your yeses more meaningful. What is out? Fake friends. What is in? Applauding for yourself. What is out? Overwhelm, chronic stress. That's ironic coming from me right now. What is in? Actually taking care of myself. What I mean is I can sense my priorities changing for my health, like doing things that take care of me that no one else can see that I know. And what is out? Multitasking. What is in? Taking up space. And lastly, what is out? Passive consumption. If you were to make this list yourself, just grab a post-it, grab anything, put it in your journal for your morning pages. Just wondering, like, what are some things that you would write? So, going in order, I kicked off February with a pop-up at Commune Cafe, and it was organized by a couple of local business owners. The first is Rose's Pineapple Shorts. I actually got to sit next to Rose and chat with her family. The other organizer is Very Cool Ice Cream. He's actually popped up before at PB, selling premium vegan ice cream. I love talking to Rose's mom, who was actually out there doing her own creative business. She made calligraphy bookmarks and her strokes were just perfect. So her mom was very generous and letting me play around with the brushes because when I was in elementary school, my very first art studio class that we went to, there's a lot I could say about that. But one of the things that we got to do is actually something called 国画, which is like Chinese watercolor in a very traditional sense. It's done on rice paper, and I was just thinking like, oh wow, it's been a while since I tried this, so it was cool to use this technique to render like cat drawings. And I made my mom a bookmark copying the calligraphy of Rosa's mom's bookmarks, and I mailed it to her. My grandma also got a bookmark, but it was like a perfect one made by her mom, and they really appreciated it. It kind of said, may your health be good, or may your year be great and full of fortune or wellness. And at one point a customer saw that and was like, are you doing like pet portraits at all? So I was like, you know what, sure, because I've had experiences at Renegade or my Christmas pop-ups where I do have a little bit of time. So something I do is live drawings. I drew her friend's cat, and that was that. It was just like, whatever, it was like a free thing because it was literally on the back of a calendar paper. The following week, somebody came into the store and said, wait, you were at a pop-up, my friend was there, and she asked you to draw my cat for me. And he showed me on his phone like where he hung up the portrait on the fridge with the cat like standing next to it. And I was like, that is the sweetest thing. It's cute how that kind of came in full circle. And the rest of that event looked like snacking on Filipino food because there was a pop-up there. I met a couple of other Chinese business owners that I'm gonna try to see if I can stock some of their things here in the store. So that's an ongoing conversation, and that was really great. The following day, I went and hung out with my friend Dylan. It's been a while since I've really properly seen him and had a catch up. So we were strolling around Lower East Side, and he brought me to this bookstore I've never known about. It is kind of like a third space because you can shop for books, you can order drinks at the bar or have coffee. It was just way too popular, so we actually headed to 9th Street Espresso. That is my favorite spot for hot chocolate. Like, I rave about this hot chocolate. That evening, we watched the Grammys as well. I was so excited because I really wanted to watch for Chappell Roan. Overall, I wouldn't say Chappell is my favorite artist and like new album I discovered last year. The energy of it just really speaks to me. It's like the backtrack of my life right now. And I'm aware the album came out in like 2023. I even like commented on an Instagram post being like, Chappell, I'm gonna watch you. I never even felt the need to watch the Grammys. I spelled the Grammys wrong with IES. That's how little I know about that award show, and I got so many likes. I felt that validation right there. Okay, then moving on, it happens to be New York Fashion Week, where I was invited to a couple of showrooms and what do you call it? Like press reviews, where you get to see the collections that different brands and shops have been working on that they are releasing like in summer and fall. And notably, I really enjoyed the MoMA Design Store. The curation was very much inspired by surrealism as well as like playful adulting. Have a highlight of my favorite things that we checked out. I dream of being part of the MoMA Design Store one day. I was just thinking about all the products there, and like I feel like I strive for this level of quality as well. So I'm gonna see. I hope I can manifest. Maybe you can see PB work one day at MoMA Design Store. I am a designer. Speaking of fashion, I wanted to point out my outfit today. I'm wearing the same thing I wore in my last video. I just threw this together the day of, and then I didn't realize it would become like my favorite outfit as of late. And I thought it's like fun because I wore this exact thing 2 years ago for February notes. I wore it with the companion cardigan sleeves that's like matching color. It's a 2-piece. But yeah, I think that a lot of times I buy clothing that can be worn in different ways so that you just get more bang for your buck. And I layered this thrifted button down that I found while upstate in November. I just have on denim blue jeans with a pop of yellow here because I think yellow and gray go nice together. And then my nails are kind of like this split pea chartreusey green. I don't oftentimes paint my nails. I kind of did it just for this video. But it was very sweet. I was watching true crime last night and painting my nails. I would say my favorite article of clothing is footwear and shoes. So I'm always excited to go to shoe press previews. One of my favorite shoes, period, is the Franco Sarto Mary Janes in this bright red. And I love it so much. I have 2 pairs of it. I only have one other shoe that I have backup pairs for because I just know I'm going to have it as a classic staple in my closet. So I have a new one just reserved for the future. And I love talking to the creative director and just understanding like the different trends because I feel very out of my element when I go to these things, and I have to put on more of like my influencer hat, and it's not something that I feel like is my strength, but it's something that helps me with like public speaking or networking. And I think all of these skills are transferable to building my shop and like my small business. So I try not to say no or stray away from opportunities that I feel like on the surface seem kind of irrelevant, because again, I'm just like, you never really know what you can learn or take away from these experiences. So with that said, it's kind of a double-edged sword because I had so many back-to-back things that week that I really felt like I didn't know if I was having fun anymore. However, one thing that was so fun is I went to my first runway show ever, and it's for one of my favorite designers, Tyler McGillivray. Years ago, when Tyler McGillberry first launched their butterfly collection, I jumped on it. I was so excited, and to this day, the dress as well as the top that I wore to the show is one of my most precious and loved pieces. So it was really cool that I got to bump into Lynn and see a couple of my other YouTube friends that week and meet so many new people that even thinking about it right now makes me feel a little bit tired. So this is the point where I was thinking about, okay, no fake friends, right? Like when you meet people in a network context, at the end of the day, you must save energy not only for yourself, your loved ones, your family, but like your friends, because a lot of times when you're networking or just using social media, you want to feel like you can be everybody's friend. But sociology and all of the research says that's just not possible. Just being honest with myself of like, what is friendship and what is creative collaboration? And I just feel like we don't have to stamp friendship over everything as if that's like the only thing that means it's authentic or good. More and more, I feel like it's allowed me to really value being able to let go of fake friendships, because a lot of times I would want to be almost like shape-shifting, and I want to be like good enough to perform at work around these people, and then good enough in these circles, and then good enough in my friend circles. And then when I take away from all of that, it's just like, oh, I feel like I'm not good enough in any of these. I'm not quite measuring up because I'm not fulfilling this ideal person in my head of like funny enough or sarcastic enough or like mean enough, like depending on what environment I happen to be in. And I just kind of want to let go of all of that and not really care anymore if I am interesting enough or like fulfilling or like nice enough or creative enough or like anything like that, because it's just not worth it. I can keep thinking about it and like problem solve, but I feel like deep down, if you relate to this, I think it just comes from a place of having had to do this for survival at one point when we were growing up, whether it was like in our family dynamics or with your primary caregiver, like feeling like you have to sort of play like mental gymnastics and be very, very sensitive to others' emotional like outputs and be like, okay, I can tune into that and I will meld into something that will complement you, make your life easier, because then I feel safe. So that's something that I've been, gaining clarity on. Maybe that's just growing up. And really the only time I barely made time for was our Palentines dinner. And it's with my board game group and then all of the friends that we have accrued. We had a potluck as usual.
As right before our show, I would like to invite John up front.
Oh yeah.
John.
I've never seen that before.
Star.
I didn't know he was gonna play a full ass song. That was good.
Alright, the next piece we're gonna play. For that, I gotta silence my phone because I know my luck. My phone's gonna ring in the middle of this if I don't silence. Alright, so the next piece we're gonna play is the third movement of the Vivaldi 2-violin concerto in A minor. I'm gonna give a lot of credit to Lawrence because he only really had one day to put this together. Wow.
It was so sweet. Iran oftentimes plays his violin because he is in an orchestra. So it was lovely to get that live music as like a proper dinner party. That was a day after our heart-to-heart pop-up, which I already featured a little bit, so I don't want to belabor it. Definitely check out the vlogs. I feel like everything that I'm updating you with is more in real time now that I have like a Wednesday uploading schedule. So you can definitely check out all of the stuff I'm mentioning in like the previous 3 Wednesdays uploads. Something that was going on in the background after the pop-up and like feeling kind of stressed and then doing this party was that I didn't realize I was slowly kind of getting a stomach bug and my body was just feeling really sore. I experienced a lot of muscle aching and it must have just been inflammation going on in my body. So That made me go out of commission for a week or so. And it was a blessing in disguise because, as always, health is wealth. And it reminds me that above all, there's nothing, like, don't even think about my dreams and stuff like that if you're not going to have your health to depend on and like to come and execute all of these things you want to do. That's number one. So I'm really glad that I am at a place where like I definitely take the time off if I need to, like no guilt. And then I looked into the healthcare system is very and especially I don't get it from work. Like I don't have a salary job where I get insurance, so that's something that's always like very stressful for freelancers. So I looked into my policy finally and I felt much better. I felt more relieved because I told you last month that I had been also experiencing IBS, or what I thought was that, and I was like very, very scared I had some kind of like chronic thing that I'm not sure. So I'm glad that I got the answers to that, and it's nothing super alarming. I just have to go in for another blood test and we'll see. I am so relieved to be feeling good again. I couldn't wait to start my oil painting commission. Like a year or two ago, I remember thinking to myself that I want to make more time to paint in my life, and experiencing that progress and like seeing that I have made concrete steps to make that happen is something that I'm proud of and I'm excited about, which is why I say what is in is applauding. Every time I do something on time, like I make a promise and I fulfill it, I always celebrate the small wins or the big wins. I like literally, if I'm just by myself in the office, I would be like, I think I clap very loud and I'm like, as I speak about it, it's behind me and I haven't made progress on it, but by the time that you watch this, actually, I will have finished it. So maybe I will update you on Instagram of what the surrealist piece came out looking like. Basically, in that same vein, I was thinking, I've been really itching to get back into ceramics. And I thought, you know, if I can make time for painting, I perhaps can make time for ceramics. Let's see. I will check in with you in March to talk about that and all of these other goals that I had, because that would be the end of Q1. And I had all these like little creative things I wanted to do. Now, lastly, I just want to end on, I had a lot of fun making a snowman, except it wasn't a snowman, it was a snow cat. It was coming down hard and the snow was sticking for the first time in so long, and my partner and I were just walking home and I was like, you know what, I kind of want to make Prairie. And I always depict her as like this kind of pudgy white silhouette, and I thought, let me see if I can do this, if I can pull it off in 10 minutes. And it took me probably 3 times as long, but I was so happy with this. It was like such a peaceful time playing in the snow and getting to work with your hands and just feeling like a little kid. And it really tickled me that when we were finished, my partner actually made Bambi. When we were finished, some of the locals walking by were staring at it and they were like, I want to take pictures, and it just became this kind of like installation of public art. So that was very sweet. It was sweet to chat with them. The last thing I want to leave you with in terms of something creative and artsy, I got my Odd Rabbits clip here. I got a little gift in the mail a couple of days ago, and it's from my bestie from college, Kat. I told her, I mentioned that I saw this new shop pop up in Hawaii where she resides, and she just sent me a care package with the Adam JK book called You Are Here for Now. I don't like how this looks. Okay. It's a guide to finding your way, and I think this comes from At a Perfect Time. It's signed! This is my name in his handwriting! Wow! Well, as you know, I go by Piper, I go by Annabelle. It's my birth given name. But yes, voila. Thank you so much, Kat. It means so much to me. They always sprinkle me with thoughtful care packages. Flip through something and share it with you, okay? The distractions are a wonderful and special part of being alive. But keep going. Nobody else will care as much as you do, and this is often a blessing in disguise. Just some food for thought. I feel like that really applies to the health thing. So not only have I been really adulting and being like, okay, priorities, spend your time, spend your resources on figuring out this health stuff, I have also been applying the same thing to my kitties, like sending them to get their checkups. Prairie might need some operations soon, and dealing with kind of annoying pet insurance, bureaucratic stuff that's been frustrating, but I'm not going to jump the gun and freak out just yet. I'm still waiting to hear back of like what claims are la 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 la. So it's just like, I kind of tell myself I can sense that I'm different from before, because I tell myself, you know, even if it doesn't work out, even if I am really upset that I've bought this very expensive insurance because I really care and it didn't even do anything and it's like futile, I will make it happen in other ways, because my priority is taking care of them and it is not like getting justice in this way. Like, I will make it work. And I think the old me would kind of feel like, no, like I allotted this budget and this is supposed to be like this. I had it all planned out. This is my way. And like, now, great. Now I can't get this. And I would kind of be like, fine, maybe I'll just, I don't know, like eat something really cheap and skip out on like a nutritious meal so that I can have money for something else, like doing something fun. And now I'm just like, I don't really think that's worth it to me in the same way. And I'm really glad that my values are becoming very grounding for me. So the sun has gone behind a cloud to tell me to shut up. It is the end of February Notes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what your thoughts are and your reflections for this month. And I hope that you're not as stressed out and that you can rest well, because that's always my urgent message to everyone. Just rest well, because today I need to apply that to myself, okay? The next few days of my week is going to be really intense because of deadlines and something I can't talk about yet. And I'm just telling myself to stay calm, and get rest, get exercise, and get nutritionals in your body. I don't know if I'm like ending it on a negative note by talking about stress, but let's talk about 3 things I'm very grateful for. Always, I'm so grateful for, oh look, the sun's back out for me and my positivity. I'm very grateful for hot running water. I love being able to sit in the shower and decompress at the end of the night and just feel like I decide when I want to turn off this water, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for my mom, that I can call her and not only talk about our business and shared dream, but just like chat and have a good relationship. Because early on in my life, we did not have that kind of relationship. And then my last is to my roommates, because when I was sick, they really took care of me. I felt like they had my back. Jay ran me a foot bath, cooked me food. They were there for me, like offered to come to the appointments with me. And I truly feel like I have a family, I have a life here, and I really got to run because they're going to be here very soon, and we're going to do a photo shoot with a photographer that I booked. So yeah, I just love having the people in my life that I really depend on. And you know what they say is that the 5 people you spend the most time with really shape you, not only like your character, your worldview, but like also your experience. So really be mindful of who you let in your life and think about like what you want more in your life, and maybe say thank you to the ones that bring you love and light. Okay, bye.